Good morning and welcome to our first live stream, actually our first live stream together, and my first live stream in quite a few months actually. And anyway, welcome. My channel is American Christian in the Philippines, and yours?
Mine is Something Simple. And
Something
if you're
Simple.
searching it online, it's just at Something Simple #2.
Okay, so we're going to start trying to do a live stream possibly weekly, depending on how it goes, and sharing our experiences and knowledge of the Philippines. So hopefully it'll be informative for those that are either thinking of coming to the Philippines or those that already live here. Today's subject is Bacolod. If I said that right, how do you say that?
Bacolod. I was wrong. People said Bacolod, and then I was corrected to Bacolod. Bacolod.
Okay, well, whatever it is, I'll just say it however it comes out. So yeah, we're going to be asking the question, is this a good place to live? The reason we're bringing this place up and why we're going to discuss Bacolod is because we both have just moved here. Has it been 3 weeks?
Yeah. What was it? June 19th? 19th?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Lost track already.
Yeah. By the way, before I go on, can we do a little sound check? Again, I haven't done this in a while. I want to make sure we're actually loud and clear and make sure I've got the microphones and camera and everything connected. So please give us a comment that you can hear us okay. Can you read those comments okay?
Yeah, can you hear everybody hear me good too?
Yeah. All right, so before we get into questions, we'll just give a little background here on why we're in Bacolod. And okay, good morning, Leah from Philippine Family Life with Leah. You're not going to come say hi?
No, I'm not.
Okay, all right, we'll see you later. All right, so prior to coming here just 3 weeks ago, we were both living in Dumaguete. For me, it was actually 5 years in Dumaguete, and for you?
That would be July of 2024 until March 17th when I had to go back to the U.S.
Right. And so, you're kind of a newbie here still, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a newbie, especially here in Bacolod.
And, well, I was living in the state. I'm doing 5 years, and prior to that, I've lived in many other places. I've lived in Cebu, lived in Manila, and various places. So, been out here for coming on a dozen years, 12 years plus. So, certainly got some experience to share.
You're the experienced guy guiding me. I'm, like you said, I'm the newbie.
Yeah, but sometimes the newbie discovers things that I hadn't even thought about. So,
True.
So we're going to get to some questions and in a minute. Again, we encourage anybody coming on with us, shoot out some questions, or if you haven't got anything to ask, just send a hello or let us know where you're watching from. That's always good to know. So we got a few people on with us already, 7 people.
Yeah, hey, that's cool. We got 7 friends.
I'm not sure if they're all friends. But
I feel honored.
Okay, so actually before we actually get into this, why don't you start? Why don't you tell them a little bit about your channel and why you're doing the channel and what kind of content you're going to be making?
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to start the channel just because I wanted to share my experiences when I decided, obviously, to come to the Philippines. And I just, I was inspired by so many others to come to the Philippines to begin with. Obviously, before I visited in July of last year, I was subscriber to your channel. You inspired me. And there's several other ones that I saw. So when I saw the other channels, that was like the little boost to get me to come here. And then I thought how neat that would be if I had the opportunity to kind of share my story and my experiences, hear what to see and what there is to see. And maybe I would inspire, someone else the way you inspired me.
Very good. Yeah, I'm sure you will. And so, reminder here to if anyone watching to click and subscribe to both our channels. We are running this live on both channels at the same time. hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I guess it's on my channel or
Did you check?
no, I didn't check. I guess I could check. That would be funny.
Again, it's kind of new for me doing the simultaneous live streams. I've done a couple before with my wife, and we've done them on my channel and her channel. So we set this up yesterday, so hopefully all's good.
Yeah.
You running live?
I think so. Yeah. You don't want me to click that, do you?
You can if you want, as long as the sound's down.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, but you want, there you go. All right, let's we've got a few comments coming up here. So again, to make this a lively stream, interesting, it's going to depend on the people that are with us and what kind of questions you can come up with. And that's what's going to make this interesting. So think of some good questions you have. And again, the topic is Bacolod a good place to live? But this, we're really talking about the Philippines, I mean, if you've got other suggestions on places you've been and you think are good places to live, we'd love to hear your opinions on that. What do you think of Bacolod so far? Been here 3 weeks?
I mean, I tried to think stuff. I'm still in the infancy stages, and I don't want to judge a location too soon. I mean, obviously, and I've told you this, initially when I got here, I think I was kind of set my expectations too high.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you start comparing it instantly to Dumaguete, although you have much more experience in Dumaguete, more time there than me. So how I may compare is going to be completely different than yours because you just had a longer time in Dumaguete than me. Yeah. But, I'll go back to the one thing. If I'm going to compare, I always say, I missed the vision. I thought about this the other day. I missed seeing the ocean.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I've noticed the biggest from here versus Dumaguete, just not seeing it. Whether I'm swimming in it or not, there wasn't a day that went by in Dumaguete that I didn't see the ocean.
Right. No, I agree. That is the scenery in Dumaguete was a little nicer than here generally. And I'm sure there's going to be questions that come up of why we left Dumaguete, and we might, depending on how many questions we get, if we don't get we get some down spots, we'll discuss it more for reasons why we chose to leave Dumaguete to come here. But I'm hoping some people will ask us certain questions.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Let's go and just click to the first comment today, which is coming up on the screen right now. And you want to read some of these, your eyesight's probably better. And this is Philippine Moments. By the way, hi, Philippine Moments.
Oh, yeah, I remember they were at Bible study.
Remember. Yeah, okay. I hope you're with us. I know this question came in before the live stream.
Someone is late, according to my phone clock.
Yeah, we are late.
That would be true.
We're in the Philippines. That's the way it goes.
Like the comprehension of time here in the Philippines is different than it is probably in the United States.
Yeah, for sure. So Philippine Moments changed their channel name. I saw this come up recently, and because it used to be, what was it, Filipina and Foreigner?
I think so. You're
something. Yeah, and why'd you change your name, guys? It's good though. Philippine Moments. That's good, and they have a good channel. Check it out. So welcome. In fact, there's a question from the same people. My question: why Bacolod over Iloilo? Well, that's a great question. Now you haven't been to Iloilo.
No, so I couldn't.
Your better half has.
Well, yeah. The only main thing, I'll let you explain a bit. All you said is to me when I asked you, you said the vibe.
Yeah. All right, so I've been wanting to get out of Dumaguete for a while. It's going back at least a year. I'd kind of just having that burnout of Dumaguete for reasons I'm sure will come up through the stream. And we were looking at other possible places to go. And I did research. And from doing research, Iloilo seemed to check all the boxes of what I wanted, And better infrastructure, bigger city, more restaurant choices, better shopping.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of reasons. And so based on my research, without even going there, I was like having a feel that Iloilo must be the place. So I went there for a trip with the family. It was about 2 months ago now, and to check everything out. And when we arrived there, we stayed right in the center of town in Mega World area. And I was instantly impressed by the infrastructure and how clean it was and how well the roads were and the driving and everything. And the shopping malls were huge and clean. Everything there was impressive to start with. I did notice, like you mentioned about the vibe, I did notice that people were walking around who were just observing people and body language. People didn't seem as friendly. There was just I guess vibe is the word, that just didn't feel right in my mind.
Was it because it was like a bigger city and people, like, whereas Dumaguete was such smaller? It just seemed like Dumaguete to me, not knowing Iloilo, but if I compare Dumaguete to here, the friend vibe, friendly, I'm not saying they're not friendly, but it just seemed like people keep more to themselves here. And I don't know if that's something like Iloilo, which is so big, people just don't.
Business-like. People walk around with a, not a friendly like, but business-like.
Well, it is a city, and what do most people do when they go to a city? Work.
So anyway, that was one thing. But the other main reason Iloilo was scratched from our choices is outside of the city. When we started looking for potential places to live and neighborhoods, I was totally unimpressed by the kind of neighborhoods that there were. We looked at many, and they just didn't feel right. And most of the subdivisions I checked, they weren't well maintained. The houses were expensive for what you got. That was much smaller places than I've been looking at here.
So the house you have now, they have nothing like that?
Well, they do. There's a subdivision in downtown. Probably most people agree is supposed to be their like upmarket subdivision called Westwoods.
Right.
And we looked in there and they got houses kind of like this, bigger. But again, compared with this subdivision here in Bacolod, it's just like it was not well maintained. The people didn't seem friendly, and it just didn't feel right. We never felt like this is a place we could call home. Anyway, long answer to that question, but it was a good question. So let's go to the next one. Wait a minute. There we go. You want to read that? Oh,
sound check.
Yeah, great question. Hi, honey. Thanks for confirming.
Ray.
Hello, Ray.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray. How you doing?
Now I know. Do you know who Ray is?
Yeah, sort of.
See, I met Ray recently through another channel, and he basically he found my channel through another channel, and then we've been communicating back and forth, and he's actually on his way back to the Philippines, I think, today.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah, he's probably, I think one of his comments said something, yeah, he's at the terminal. So like,
oh, okay.
So yeah, he was been back in the US. I'm not sure if he told me for how long, but he's somebody I just met, and actually he's starting a channel of his own, actually.
Okay. Anyway, have safe travels, and welcome back to the Philippines when you get here.
Yeah, like I said, we're all waiting.
All right. All right, and another sound check. Good. Okay, yes, he's watching you guys while waiting to board the plane. All right. Well,
have a safe trip.
And for everyone here, thanks for being here again. We need people to be here to make this.
Right, and that's loyal. You're sitting at the airport, and you have plenty of other things you could be doing, and you're taking the time for us. So thanks, Ray.
All right, let's go to the next one. Go ahead and read it.
Larry C says, I just landed in Cebu. I will be in Bacolod in a little over a week.
All right. Well, Larry, maybe we'll run into you when you get here. And are you coming to Bacolod for a vacation, or you live here, or what's your purpose for coming here?
Yeah, have you been here before? First time?
No, next one. Oh, good. Okay, we're getting the sound checks.
Sounds good.
All right, we got it. Okay.
So Larry said yes to something. I guess the sound.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah. Congrats on your new channel, Michael.
Filipina Moments says, congrats on your new channel, Michael. I appreciate it. I hope it does well. But like most importantly, I just want to be able to reach and connect with people and maybe make a little bit of a community-like thing and just share my experiences. And like I said, I took a leap of faith by coming here. You know that. And that was the best decision I ever made. So I'm hoping other people, you know, live life too. Don't sit and wait till you're old and gray someday and be like, wow, I wish I could have, should have kind of thing. And then don't do things. Just do it. If you have the opportunity to do it, do it. It could change your life. And yeah, I'm a big supporter of people living life.
So you said it's the best decision you ever made. I'm going to ask you that in 6 months.
Oh boy, pressure's on.
Yeah, well,
setting me up.
Yeah.
Wonder who that's about. I don't know.
You know, but this guy did take kind of a big risk and a leap of faith because you're still pretty young. I mean, is it okay to tell your age?
I like when people guess, but I don't know if there's enough people that don't know my age that could actually guess my age.
There you go. You can guess this age before I reveal it.
See if you can guess my age. Well, fun with that.
You moved out here permanently. That's the plan.
Yeah.
So
this is permanent.
Which is hard for people to do. Obviously, you're not at. I mean, I've got my Social Security age. You're not at that age. You're not even close. But so it's not easy to move over here because a lot of people have jobs and need income, and you know, so you got to have money coming from somewhere. Unless one is just rich.
Right, and that's what I did when I moved. Well, when I went back to the United States, I had to sell my car, get rid of some other things that I had saved from when I sold my house before I came in July of last year.
I'm trying to figure which glasses to see. You know, I'm having some vision issues. I actually just came back from Thailand. When did I come back? A few days ago? Saturday. What day is it today?
Friday night.
No,
1:30.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So technically Saturday then.
Well, yeah, Saturday.
The time I arrived here, and I've been having some eye issues, and I actually have an eye doctor in Thailand who I started treatment with 6 weeks ago, and I had to go back for some more treatment. So still not seeing great, but
you're better than what you were.
Yeah, it's improving. But so you'll probably be reading more of the questions than me.
No, that's fine.
But let's go to the next one.
This is, I guess, like Lee.
Lee
is my middle name anyway. Michael Lee. Good morning.
Now, are you new to the channel? I haven't seen this name before.
I'm not familiar with the name either, but I will try to do that now. And we both appreciate you being here.
Yeah, welcome. Always good to see new names that pop up, you know.
So
it's great to see the old ones, but
right. Well, you can say, where are you from? That would be where are you from?
Yeah.
What brought you to the live stream?
I think I know this next person.
Yes, Michael, you're live on your channel. LOL. Thank you very much. That's good. I'm sure maybe there's maybe one person watching. That was probably you.
Well, we got 17 people with us right now, so that's actually good because we're still relatively. I mean, you're new. I've actually been kind of on pause with my channel for the last few months. Just it happens. Anyone that's been doing vlogging for a long time, you get to a point where you just need a break.
Yeah.
You kind of run out of content ideas, and sometimes burnout happens with that. And plus, I've just been busy with just traveling. We've been doing. They're looking for new places to live.
Yeah, you've been super busy the last 2 months.
Really have.
But maybe I feel like you have the itch, and you're a little more motivated to get it.
That's why we're live today. We're getting things going again, and I've got a new home, and I think we're going to be settled here for a long time. I'm ready to, as with my wife's channel, we're ready to start getting things going again. In fact, this afternoon I plan on shooting a house tour. You know, a lot of people are curious where we're living, and they know the city we're living, but no, we haven't done a house tour yet, so we're going to do that. Thank you, Hadi, for being here.
All right, Ray Moore again said, okay, guys, boarding plane to Vancouver in minutes, then fly into Manila later tonight. Again, Ray, have a safe trip. Glad you're coming back. Hopefully we cross paths, somewhere along the way. I'm sure we will. I don't know where his final, I know he's flying into Manila, but I'm not sure if I know his final destination, if that's where he's going to be or not.
Let us know.
All right. Filipino Moment says, will you still be doing anything with Pastor Andrew? Always enjoyed those videos.
Oh, well, thank you. And yeah, that's one of my regrets of leaving Dumaguete is I had a very close friendship with Pastor Andrew, and we're still close friends. So we still chat and we'll continue to do so. So I'm not sure. We kind of talked about doing some things remotely, because you can still do interviews and podcasts and stuff with if you're not in the same place. So it's possible, but I'm sure I'm going to be seeing him now and then. He's going to visit apparently next month, so I'm sure we'll do a video when he comes over. So I expect we'll do some things, and I also want to keep track on what's happening with the church there that they're building and give some updates on that now and then. So, but it won't be like it was before, unfortunately. But I've got my friend Michael here, and
that's going to be tough for me to replace Andrew, but
well,
I'll do my best.
The content will be a little bit different. Andrew was very knowledgeable with the Bible, and so that helped for that kind of videos. But when it comes to experience in the Philippines and discussions about where we're at, I think you're as good as anyone. So.
All right, Random Aussie.
Hi, Random Aussie.
Here, my question: why is Bacolod a good move? What motivated you to move there, and what inspired you?
Well, and I guess it's really a question for both of us, because you have your reasons. I mean, you didn't just come here because we were coming here.
Right.
By the way, we did a video on my wife's channel with your girlfriend, revealing
Correct.
You've been in a relationship with Che. I know. I call her Chill.
That's okay. Che for short.
Yeah, you've been 6 months now, just over 6 months, and Cheryl's actually very close to our family, and pretty much, started off she was working for us, but then it's more like she's integrated in the family now, and she used to go a lot of places with us. She actually went to Thailand with us, Iloilo. That's why she went there. So
you guys got to experience a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is she had seen these areas and liked it. So, she talked to you about it, and you weren't really set on a particular place.
Right.
So anyway, you can answer why for you went from Dumaguete to here. For me, and again, without getting into everything, that's a whole video. I was just burnt out with Dumaguete. It's a very small town, a lot of foreigners there. Not that that's always a bad thing. I had a lot of friends there, but with a lot of foreigners, you get a lot more drama and other negatives like rental prices were shooting up through the roof because of the
too many fish in the fishbowl.
Yes, and being a small town, everybody hears everything that goes on,
and they do know everybody.
Yeah.
That's not just a saying. You'd be surprised. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Right. And then there's the driving issues in Dumaguete. It just gets to you. No organization, no consequences for how you drive there. It's just really a difficult place to drive all the time. That drove me nuts. There's just the shopping, restaurant choices, things like that.
Yeah.
Those are all the reasons what motivated me to move to a bigger city. And just to finish on that question, so far, I'm really enjoying Bacolod for the shopping. Places like Landers and S&R, we
kind of like a little about both. Yeah, they're like a Costco, BJ's, Sam's Club kind of place.
Yeah, exactly. And don't have anything like that in Dumaguete.
No. Well, you were saying people come far away just to go
I know
there.
people that will actually drive up to, to come to Landers or SNR to load up with stuff that they can't get, and they'll come up for a couple of nights or a night and then go back to Dumaguete.
And
I know people that do that.
Wild.
Yeah. And then schools, I got kids, as most of you know, and I wasn't particularly happy with the schools in Dumaguete, but we found a great school here. We're very happy with it so far, so it's another motivation. So I'm sure other things will come up during this live stream, but that's a few of them.
Random Aussie, is there a bad area or good area in the Philippines?
Well, everywhere's got bad areas, but
there's, my opinion, there's bad areas and good areas here, United States, no matter where you live. I mean, I would say there's more impoverished areas here, you see it, but I mean, I never feel unsafe here.
No. By the way, going back, and I apologize on the last question, I didn't really let you respond about why you chose to come to Bacolod rather than just stay in Dumaguete.
That's like when I explain to people that ask me, like, what made me choose anywhere. It's like, first of all, when you're renting, that's the advantage of renting. You have the option to experience different places. And what better way to be, what is there, over 7,000 islands in the Philippines? Not that I'd ever visit all of them, but I think they said there's over 7,000. So when the opportunity, because Che was with Gary and Leah and their children while they're traveling, they were kind of giving me, their eyes were basically my information to, if I'd be interested in living in one of these places. And part of the reason, yes, I came here because it makes it easier knowing you and Leah were going to be here. That's obvious. But you can't beat, when it comes to food options, not knocking Dumaguete, but I probably went to the same 3 places all the time.
Me too. Yeah.
When you chose a place, so the options for food. I mean, yes, you have the malls. I'm not a person, like, I don't need the malls. Like, it's nice. It just makes me feel like I'm back in the United States in a way when you're in the malls, a little more westernized, but like, it's just me, the reason why I chose to come here. It's just something new, something different. You're not committed to staying anywhere forever.
Right.
So, I mean, really, that was probably why I chose something different. And I knew I wouldn't be alone and like a fish out of water here.
Right.
Because we kind of leaned on each other. You know what I mean? We've kind of leaned on each other.
I'm glad you came too, because, I've got a friend already here, so that's good. And we've become pretty good friends. We only met last year, but, you're a real genuine guy. You got integrity, which is important to me. And so I think
we're very relatable. We're very similar. And what do you usually tend to gravitate towards the most?
Yeah. People
you're most similar with.
And we're both Christians, which is very important.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. I'm looking at the lighting here. Something. I think we've got my wife's camera using, for the computer, and I think it keeps changing automatically. The light, because I keep seeing as we're going dark and light. I don't know if it notices for everyone else, but anyway.
Next one from Mr. Dave.
Hi, Mr. Dave.
I see that Gary and his friend look handsome here. Well, we appreciate it. We try to do our best when it comes to that kind of thing.
Well, we're going to get some comments on your age in a minute coming up. 25. Yeah.
Some of these are, I've looked ahead and some of these are making me laugh. But this one, I know you're just being funny. I think the youngest I've ever gotten is like 28 to between 28 and 35 has been people that have guessed. So 25 is either a very generous.
That's very generous.
Very generous prediction on my age, and I appreciate it. And I'll take it. You're like my new best friend now.
Look, when I first met you, I figured you were in your 40s. Okay, I'm not that generous, but I'm realistic. Okay. Philippines, obviously, they don't have a clue when they look at a foreigner.
True.
I mean, I've been told at times that, oh, you look like you in your 40s. I'm like, oh, okay, you're dreaming, that, in reality, I know that's not true, but I mean, if I can look at my late 50s, I'll be happy. All right, let's see what we got. All right, Mr. Dave, go ahead.
Bacolod is underrated. Iloilo is overhyped. It has a dirty, crowded downtown like Dumaguete. Well, I can't argue with that.
Iloilo, he means? Or he said Bacolod is underrated.
Yeah, so he thinks Iloilo is overhyped, which there is a lot of hype around Iloilo, especially other channels, vloggers. I've seen people, Iloilo is like a hot topic.
I was really surprised, actually. I thought it would be better than it was. I was disappointed with that. And I don't know if Bacolod is underrated or not. I don't really know enough about it, but so far I'm enjoying it here, and I think you are too.
Oh yeah,
found some good places, some good coffee shops.
It's growing on me.
Yeah. We met with our friend Gio the other day, who lives up here, and he suddenly gave us two places to try out. And
which was, what was that called again? Cafe Bob's.
Cafe Bob's.
But you had eaten there before, correct? So you were. That was my first time eating the food, and I have to admit, the food is actually really good.
Right. Yeah, no, I love that place. There's a coffee shop here that you can actually, it has a deli inside as well. So I was always complaining in Dumaguete, why can't they have a coffee shop where you can like get a sandwich or something, like a deli sandwich type thing. And there wasn't any, but this one, finally found a coffee shop. I can go and have a nice deli sandwich for lunch for my coffee.
Pasta.
Yeah, so I'm really liking Bacolod. I really am. Again, earlier you said it's the scenic wise, it's not the prettiest town.
No.
And that's probably although where we live out here, not for you, but where we're at today, my house is quite attractive. It's nice out here.
Right. I mean, they don't have anything like the Boulevard. I mean, I think that's like one of the main attractions, and not that Boulevard in Dumaguete is the best thing you'll ever see. But it is nice. They're building it up. They're redoing all the walkways are wider. And it's just, it's like I say to people, it's a nice kind of social gathering atmosphere, vendors, people singing karaoke. Everybody goes, like, that's a big hangout.
Yeah. Oh, can I ask a favor of everyone? We got 19, 20 people with us, and we appreciate that. But, if you haven't already, could you press the like button that on both channels, whichever channel you're watching from? We'd appreciate that. That helps get the video out there. And again, a reminder, if you haven't already subscribed to either of our channels, it would be much appreciated if you would do so. Hopefully we'll be putting out some content that'll be of interest to you. $56. Random. I'm sorry.
That must be somebody that knows me. I don't know.
Okay, we'll do a couple more, then you can tell them. How'd you go from 56 to 74?
I mean, yeah,
that's it. You got
it. Buzz. I really appreciate it. No.
74. I think you got the numbers the wrong way around. I think.
Yeah, you probably wanted to flip them. The 47.
I think that's what it was. Oh, Buzz. Gary looks. Well, you notice I'm wearing the hat.
That could be it. Or maybe they think I'm Gary and you're Michael.
See, I'm bored. Okay, there you go. I just aged like 10 years.
But Gary does look a lot younger for his age. I tell him that all the time, and I'm not making it up.
Oh, you told me if I shave.
Well, yeah, if he shaves his goat, he's 10 years younger.
I don't know.
Even Leah thinks you look younger when you shave your goatee.
The problem is I've had this on my face for so many years. Like I've been having a goatee for over 20 years.
So you feel naked without
I don't. Whenever I shave, and I do shave occasionally because.
But do you screw it up? Is that why you shave it? You lose the perfection, and you're like, I'll just start over.
No, that's not the reason. But it's easy to do it. But I know. I just once I'm shaved, I'm like, yeah, something's missing.
Naked. Yeah.
I guess so.
All right.
Ben. Hello, Ben.
How you doing, Ben?
Good to see you.
Hello, Gary and Michael. Good morning, Gary. I hope everything went good for you in Thailand?
Yeah, it went good. I actually had some issues around my retina and required a series of injections into my eyeball, which is not too pleasant. And I originally saw the doctor in Thailand because I was having the issues when I was out there. When was that? A couple of months ago. Yeah, and it was really getting bad, so I went to see a doctor out there, and when I was really comfortable with the doctor, and I don't actually have a retina specialist in the Philippines, and I wasn't about to experiment with a new doctor to put needles in my eyes, so I just flew back there and got my next injection done, and went well, and things are improving. Thank you for asking, Ben.
This is I couldn't wait to answer this. Buzz, Mike, are you gay? If you mean gay as in happy, yes, I'm happy all the time.
Then again, I think he might be asking it in a hopeful way.
Well, that's true too. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Buzz. I guess you could say I don't swing that way. So yeah, if you watch any of the other videos or on my channel or the interviews I did with Gary, you would see happily with a female. Her name would be Che. So yeah, I'm with Che and I'm not gay. Sorry.
Sorry to disappoint Buzz. I used to get that with Pastor Andrew all the time. They'd ask if we were gay or something.
I don't know. Sometimes I think, if you take care of yourself and you look presentable, people automatically assume you could be gay. I don't know.
Okay.
Lee says, what are the reasons why you are godly now? It's just funny because many Americans are far from what you are. May you increase and do outreach programs, churches to reveal the word of God. It's a good question.
Well, what are the reasons I'm godly now? I guess that assumes that we weren't godly before. And actually, I don't know so much about you, but for me, I was totally ungodly. My life changed about 6 years ago when I surrendered to Christ. And when I did that, my life dramatically changed for the better. Yeah. Again, my testimony, I'm not going to get into that today. It's not for this live stream, but I have a lot of reasons why I have the faith that I have. But I try to be, and one thing we both try to do with being Christians, we try to be real. We live in this world and this time, and we try to be real people. We both are not ashamed to say we love the Lord and we follow Jesus. But we don't go around with halos on our head. We don't act like we're the perfect Christians.
I'm a work in progress.
We're both a work
in
progress.
I have a long way to go. My goal is Christian, that direction, but I'm a work in progress. So many things I've gotten better at, but there's also a lot of things I need to get better at. So yeah, I'm not. So many things. Yeah, I have a long way to go. But
we all have a long way to go, and my point I was trying to make on being real is I accept I have issues. I accept I sin every day.
Flaws.
I accept that. I'm very humble. I try to be, but I want to relate to other people that think similar. I'm not name names, of course, but one of my biggest challenges sometimes to my faith, and it's not really doubting what I believe, but one of the things that just challenges me is often other Christians that put themselves up like they're perfect people, and the way that you know exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes these kind of people that go around claiming they're these Christians and almost like they're better than you, it's very off-putting to people. I think we need to be very humble when we
follow Jesus. Because as Christians, we're not supposed to judge.
No.
And I'm not. I'm guilty. I'm not saying I've never judged, because I'm guilty of it. That's another step in the process for me to become a better Christian. But ultimately God is supposed to be the only judge, and I don't think any of us here ever get to the top of the mountain. I think we're always climbing the mountain.
You're right. You're right. We'll never, until we get to heaven,
until we're judged by God Himself.
Then
we might be at the top of the mountain.
I think more of us Christians need to acknowledge that we're works in progress, and just help each other, support each other. That's good. Don't judge each other.
Well, yeah, and it's who we are today, not who we were yesterday.
Exactly.
Go on. Buzz. I'm not even gonna read that one. That's not very nice, Buzz. But basically it says, Leanne, have another soda. And yeah, not very nice.
Buzz, come on. Get in the game here. Let's be respectful. Let's have good comments.
All right. No, I'm not new. Both of you, Leah, are on my list. I idolized your marriage. Hi, Leah. This is Lynn. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice.
Thank you.
So she's not new. So she's been on, I guess, watched your videos or maybe seen your live streams.
Probably on my wife's.
Wouldn't be mine because this is the first one I've ever been on. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, very, very nice comment that she idolizes your marriage, Gary. That's really nice.
You know what? We I think we have a godly marriage. It's not perfect. We have issues like everybody else does, but we're happy. We love each other, and our love continues to grow. So we're happy.
Cha-cha, how do you say that? Maranang. It's like Marina. I met her. I remember her. Hello from, how do you pronounce that? I'm good. I'll butcher up stuff.
Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah, from Charity and Drew.
Yeah. She's
hello, Charity and Drew.
She's a great person, and you never met. She was.
No, I met them. Oh, I met them after the fact at Ground Zero.
Yeah, that's right. She lost her partner basically.
Yeah,
and, it was a great guy. So, thanks for being here.
And I'll just say Charity, but hope you guys can come and visit us here, and we will tour you around
Cagayan de Oro.
And
you could say that one.
And Bukidnon. I mean, I know I'm going to butcher it, but
yeah, I think you did. I don't think I'll attempt to do the butchering as well, but would love to come visit over there. There's a lot of places I still want to visit in the Philippines, but right now, after what we've been through this year so far, I think for the next few months I'm going to settle down and get into some routines again. Get back to my workouts, go to the gym. That's been lacking, and stop spending money.
Yeah, and stop spending money.
So I definitely.
He spent more than me.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact.
I definitely. This move has cost me a lot, and more than I anticipated. And anyway, got to recover from that.
Loveland Filipina in the Philippines. Hi, handsome host.
Well, that's nice, and I'm honored to be included in handsome.
That's great. So that means we're both guapo.
He might have just, if they come as well, hi, handsome Michael and Gary. That would have been. That wouldn't have been it, but thank you.
We appreciate the comment. Thank you very much, and thank you for being on the live stream. It means a lot.
Yeah, and another reminder, please, to press that like button if you haven't already. When I make
if you're not a subscriber.
Yeah, and please subscribe to the channel. That's just as important. And thank you. We do appreciate it.
Ben says, any concerns about the volcano nearby, which I can clearly see from my apartment.
Can you really?
Oh, yeah. And it's actually...
Wow. I didn't know it was
you can see it clear. And then when you think it's a cloud at the top, Che explained to me, she's like, oh, no, that's like some of the steam or whatever that comes out of And I don't remember the name of it. Maybe Ben can tell us the name. I should know.
Oh, it begins with a K, and I'm Kenlan or something.
You know better than me.
I'm terrible, but
I apologize. I don't remember, but
yeah, it's right
there, and it's considered an active volcano.
No, I'm not concerned about it.
Not me neither. I mean, no matter where you live, earthquakes, floods, natural disaster, like you can't control that. And you can't, for me, I don't worry about what I can't control,
Right.
you know, no matter where you're at. I mean, hopefully nothing happens, but. Mr. Dave, Bacolod just has a better vibe than Iloilo. Agree. And I like the parks downtown. Bacolod is more pleasant than downtown Iloilo. Just my opinion. Iloilo had lots of scammers at the port. Well, you would know more about the port.
No, because I'm assuming it's downtown. The people that come in on the fast ferry, it's a different port. When I went there, I went to this Roro terminal port, and that's like 45-minute drive outside the city. It's quite a ways. That's because I took the car over, and you had to go on the car ferry.
That's right, and you had to take the
so
boat.
I think he's talking downtown port, which I actually never went to that area. So,
and like, yeah, there's scammers everywhere. That's one thing I've learned. It's not just here in the Philippines; they're everywhere.
Yeah,
sending people an email, you get stuff you think it's from Amazon, and it's not. It's a fake Amazon. It's crazy, the stuff that's going on. And then Mr. Dave again says, I almost got ran over at the crosswalk in Dumaguete next to the boulevard
shocking.
by rich Filipinos driving SUVs that wouldn't stop. I wish they'd show respect for other people. That, you know, it's funny though. When I was in Dumaguete, everybody would stop. Like,
really?
For me, when I was crossing the road, I have more issues here. Like, it's more dangerous. Like, people, it's like pedestrians always had the right of way, more so for me, in my experience. And remember, I walked everywhere in Dumaguete versus here. It's like, you really got to watch. For me, it's like, you can't just casually walk out there and people slow down for you. It's like a pedestrian, to me, I've noticed that here, that they don't, you know, slow down.
My experience would probably be different from yours on that. I think Dumaguete is horrendous. I think they don't, the fact they stop for you, I don't know, maybe.
And I thought
that's
because
surprising.
the road system here is more comparable, controlled.
Yeah.
I expected it to be more like what we're used to. And I was actually surprised. I was just like, holy cow, like people almost like nail me. Whereas in Dumaguete, they gave me the right, maybe it was just more of a respect thing I got in Dumaguete. I don't know.
I find it.
I felt safer walking in Dumaguete.
Well,
here.
Well, maybe because the roads are bigger here and wider,
and people drive faster.
And there's
here
usually
too.
2 lanes everywhere here, which most of Dumaguete is around town is just 1 lanes here and there. So maybe that's one reason. I don't know. Interesting. My experience would definitely be different. And by the way, the driving here is not perfect, but compared with Dumaguete, it's way more organized. But it's still, actually, and Iloilo is better for driving
than here.
Yeah, definitely. So here's somewhere in between the two, but definitely better than Dumaguete.
You just don't see the motorbikes driving on the sidewalks here like you do in Dumaguete.
Because there's no consequences in Dumaguete. I've actually seen a couple of traffic cops here on bikes.
And that's the point. There are no consequences.
None. There's no police stops or anything in Dumaguete. People do what they want. And that's the problem. Good morning.
I don't want to butcher this.
Cheval Ayala.
It's like Ayala Mall. Cheval Ayala.
Cheval Ayala. Cheval, yeah. Okay,
welcome. But good morning. Yahoo, miso, everyone.
Okay. What does that mean?
You got me. And then he says from Philippines blogger and Manila. So he's a blogger. So he's I guess he's a Filipino, I guess.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And this is from Ben. at Mr. Dave. As you've seen, the driving can be pretty crazy in the Philippines. Be careful out there and never assume they'll stop, which I'm learning that here. I always followed the locals when in doubt. Yeah, you kind of use them to shield you. Mm-hmm. If they're going to get across, so are you. I've done that a couple of times here. You know, I just see them going on. I'm like, well, I'm going to go out with them. Be more than one of us if we get hit.
You know, this comment, I was actually having this conversation with my wife the other day because she's much better than she used to be. But the Asian mindset is they often fail to see consequences. So, example, when they're walking on a street, in fact, the one that always just jumps in my mind is, you know, I used to live in Dumaguete. As I pulled out my dirt road, you had that skinny little street where all the trucks used to come up and down all the time. Mm-hmm. And it barely fit two cars by each other. And then people would be walking up, some kind of college up there. They'd be walking up in the lane. Well, I know there's a lane because it's like one road. Just walking up in the side where the traffic is oncoming. Never look around. They never turn around. They never look. They walk in the middle of the street, and they just, in their minds, assume that they can be seen and no one's going to hit them. And I'm trying to get this to my wife, to explain to her, look, you've got to have the mindset out there. You've got to assume that they can't see you and that they're going to hit you.
Yeah, you always assume the worst.
Right. And that's for like when you, especially I ride motorcycles out here. If you don't ride a motorcycle with the, you know, the thoughts that people are not seeing you, they're going to pull out in front of you and you know, they can't see you, you're going to have accidents all the time.
So it's like they're detached from the reality of what could possibly happen.
And it's not just unique to Philippines. I find that all over Asia, places I've been at. They just don't think that way. They don't look ahead sometimes to what could happen.
Right. You're supposed to be a couple of steps ahead when you do stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a cultural thing. I don't know.
What's
the name of the volcano?
Oh, thank you, Leah.
She's
Canlaon. So yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we can see from our balcony, from our apartment, and it's actually really pretty to look at. But and then I asked Jay, I said, "Is that the one that's active that I've heard people talk about?" She said, "Yep, that's it."
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting close to. We've got a couple more questions here, but. I'm going to encourage you guys to think of some any questions you have about the Philippines, places to live, about Bacolod or from Dumaguete, where we come from, or any comments.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. Participate in the live stream. That's what helps us keep going.
Right.
So we'll get to these last couple, and hopefully you guys can shoot some more to us. We're kind of planning on going till 10 o'clock, so we got at least 30 more minutes to go.
Yeah,
hopefully. And I have to 10 o'clock because my kid finishes school actually at 10:30. I want to make sure I get her picked up on time. That's a young one, kindergarten. So anyway, so 10 o'clock's our goal.
Oh, so there.
She's spelling it right now. Yeah. Is it Canlaon?
Canlaon volcano.
Horrible pronunciations.
They're probably laughing, but that's okay.
Our girls laughing at the way we talk? No.
Well, then you throw in your accent with saying it. It's really, they're both laughing at us both.
Yeah. Still, I think we do just as much to them. That sounded like Cheryl. She does
a little bit. She does that.
Oh.
I think we get stuff from each other. We make the same noises. Ben, I actually got stuck in the middle of the road in Cebu City when I decided not to use the crosswalk. Thankfully, they saw me there, and I lived to make it across the road. Yeah, good for you.
You know, maybe this is why you're referring to this place the way you did with the drivers. You know how many times I'm driving up into town here on the highway there, that people are not using crosswalks, but they're just slowly walking, not just into the middle of the road, but they'll go lane by lane. I saw one and I think this is why I was having this conversation with my wife yesterday. I literally saw someone that was not even in the middle of a road, but between the first two lanes stopped, and cars are not stopping, right? Because they're in a course. I said you've got cars going, he's stuck there, and then edges to the middle, you know, and the cars.
And even with the crosswalks,
Mhm.
when you see a crosswalk, the painted lines, what's that tell you?
Yeah.
So I make an effort here to use the crosswalk, and I figure, well, that's the signal for cars to slow down. That's a pedestrian car. They don't slow down.
No.
That's the one thing I've noticed. But speaking of danger, I'll just real quick. Yesterday, when I was walking out and about where Lamarck is, I don't know if you remember where Lamarck store, it's like reminds you of a Walmart. It's right near the 888, that shopping area. You know what I mean? They sell 888s. Maybe I know I think because I'm walking. Anyway, I'm getting there and there's an accident. You know the tricycles here, how much smaller they are here than Dumagetti, like real small.
Yeah, they are different, aren't they?
Well, when Che and I were riding one the other day, and I just said, if anybody's ever in an accident in one of these things, you're going to get severely hurt. I don't even know if you'd survive. If you had a car or something big, there was a bus yesterday, right in the middle of the bus underneath. You couldn't even tell what was left of the tricycle. So yeah, there was an accident, and I saw it yesterday, and I was like, see, and I just talked about this the other day. I mean, and they don't, some of them don't even use motorbikes. It looks like a little tiny bicycle. Some are pedal, some are just little electric things, but you get hit here, you have nothing to protect you in one of those little things. Right. So I just thought that was crazy that I saw that yesterday.
That is crazy. Where are we? We on?
Yeah, that one. Filipino moments. Have you been able to check out a local church community there? Yep.
Yes. Actually, the very first, actually, we arrived on a Friday, I think it was. So I was only here a couple of days. And I remember waking up Sunday morning and I was like, I better start doing some research. And anyway, I had something pop up and I do my Google searches. And it just came up and it's like, I just felt right away, this is the place.
Was it the first one you found too?
Yeah. And I thought, well, let's try it. I went to the service and you came to that one too, right?
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah, I called you up or let you know we found a church, we're going to go. I gave you like 30 minutes notice. And we went to the church and it's downtown Bacolod, actually close to where you live. And
everything's walking distance.
It's got an American pastor.
Yeah.
And it was great. Small little place again, but I mean, it's not in the best area.
No, that's about the only thing. It's not in the best area.
No, but once you get inside and everything, there's this
really nice,
that everyone's really friendly, and it just felt right. And I've been to 3 services now, and they have good music there. It's really good music, huh?
The music is amazing.
These
young locals are very talented,
yeah,
singing and music, and you'd be amazed.
Yeah, so great music, and the pastor is he's just got a great delivery.
Yeah, he's very smooth.
Yeah,
you would think he was reading from a teleprompter, and he's not. He's very good, Pastor David.
Yeah, so thanks for asking, and yeah, we're very happy with the church we found, and I can't see any reason why that's not going to be my home church for the foreseeable future. You agree?
Yes. Oh yeah. Ben says MML
Mega
SO. Oh, so that means short for mega love shout out. Well, thanks for the mega love shout out, Ben. We're always open to love. Ben says, do you think Bacolod is a good city for a single guy? I mean, it depends on what that single guy is looking for.
Yeah.
I've been the one out walking a lot, so I could probably answer this question. I mean, and be honest about it. If you're single and you're looking to meet a Filipino in the city, there's a lot of options. The only thing is, and I try to tell people, is You have the single city, you have the city girls, Filipinas, and then you have the province girls. Completely different, both beautiful, but a city girl here is more geared towards westernized. They're working, they're all about fashion, their clothing, they're in the malls. Like you can just tell. Whereas if you meet someone in the province, they're not they're not materialistic, you know, they're not, but you definitely, but what's nice here also, there's not a lot of foreigners here. So if you're a foreigner coming to Bacolod, you're probably not going to have a lot of competition.
Well, I agree with that. And if I can add to this question, because I got some comments on this too. And again, you start saying it depends on what you're looking for. You know, if you're looking for a party life, or you know, you're just here for fun, this is not.
No, it's more geared family oriented.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a party town. There's not really, you know, bar areas or nightlife areas.
Not that I've seen. I don't think I've seen a bar.
Now, if you're a single guy looking for something more serious, like a long-term relationship, you're hoping to find someone to fall in love with, get married eventually, I think it's a great place.
Yeah.
Because and another thing, it was brought up actually when we met with Gio as well. Remember we talked about how people in Bacolod, the girls, they dress generally a lot more conservatively than what they did in other places I've been.
Yeah.
And I think that's because, well, in a place like Dumaguete, because there's so many foreigners there, Philippine girls are often going there and they're dressing up sexy to appeal.
Because they're competing with each other.
Yeah. I think we're getting I'm surprised how you walk through the shopping malls. You don't see so many girls that are, you know, walking around looking with the short skirts on. And so it doesn't, nowhere near as much as other places like that.
Right. That's true.
So if you're looking for more traditional Filipina, I think this would be a good place.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And as you said, not so much competition.
Right. It's bigger city, less foreigners, which is why we kind of like it here, because there are less.
Yeah.
Filipino family life with Leah. Do we know her?
I've heard of her.
Which city speaks more fluent English? In English, Bacolod, Iloilo, or Dumaguete? I mean, I can only go between the two, which would be here and Dumaguete. And so far, I would say Dumaguete's better in English than here for me, as far as people that
because of the amount of foreigners there. But, yeah, I don't know if I've been here long enough to really figure that out yet. I think you're probably right. And Iloilo, I was only there for a week. I didn't really talk to that many people.
And I probably spoke to more people in Dumaguete than here as well. You know, so I don't know how well their English is.
I think I can safely say this, that none of the cities speak really good fluent in English. They all have English, remember, as a second language, and that's usually behind a couple of dialects too. So it's in most cases, it's certainly not their first language, and they have limited vocabulary they use. They're not they're not fluent, I guess, in most cases. That's not to say you don't come across some that really are. In general.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
Filipino moments. Were there any noticeable differences with school in Duma and there? Well, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Very noticeable. You know, the school we went to in Dumaguete, which is rated as one of the best, and probably one, you know, it's expensive too. Things I noticed there, they totally undisciplined for stuff. So, they had no set schedule. Schedule was changing constantly. It drove me nuts. But the discipline, I mean, every time I pick up my kids from school, I'm not sure if you're familiar with where we went, but they have this lobby area where the kids would wait. The kids would be running around, playing games, throwing books. It was chaos. There's a security guard. This woman stood there that did nothing ever. Even though there's signs on the wall saying, do not run, do this, play. No one paid any attention to it. And you get that stuff. That was the feel throughout the whole school, the way they run the school. It's just, they seem to be more geared to keeping the kids happy, to lure parents in to pay the money. because the kids they got to do whatever they want, you know.
So were they really going there
And-
for school?
Yeah. Say again?
Were they really going there for school? Or?
Well, see, okay, the question is, was very noticeable, why I'm bringing this up, because the school I've got here now is completely the opposite. They're disciplined. When the kids get to school, they better not be late. They get put on the late list if they're late. When they get there, they have to orderly line up. They have to walk with a teacher in front of them. There's nobody running, nobody
So
doing
it's more structured.
much more, you know, and bless my eldest daughter, she's made a few comments about how much she likes the school, but she goes, but my teacher is strict and all that. I said, but do you like her? She said, yeah. Hi, honey. You know, she said, yeah, I like her, and she's comfortable there, but comparing what she had before, she sees this one as really strict.
So she feels like she's learning more.
She's definitely you can see she's has more accountability. She's you know, I mean, the other place, if she didn't get an assignment done or something, nobody ever complained or said anything.
So they
won't let you get away with that.
So there's
here.
more accountability.
So definitely that's the biggest noticeable difference. Thank you for the question.
Mr. Day back at us with, yes, Bacolod is perfect for a single guy, in some ways better than Cebu because there's less foreigners, which I can agree with that. Definitely less foreigners here.
Yeah, I was actually surprised, you know, how few there are. I mean, there's still foreigners, don't get me wrong, of course, there is everywhere, but I mean, compared with what we had in Dumaguete, it's like, I'm talking like the ratio of, you know, foreigners to Filipinos. I mean, you know, as an example, if you walk through Dumaguete shopping mall, you'll see foreigners everywhere, even though it's a small
Packed
shopping mall, right? Yeah, so many foreigners. And you walk through the shopping mall here, and it's not so easy to spot the foreigners.
Nope.
You know, you can walk and you're like, oh, there's one, you know. There's one.
Yeah, there's not many at all. Like you said, like when you're in the mall, like Robinson Mall in Dumaguete, why do all the foreigners go to the mall? Because that's where they're going to try and meet somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's
it's
true.
like it's almost like you're in this, not like a bar, but it's like you're in a club. And that's where, you know, that's where the foreigners frequent. They would go to the malls in hopes of, you know, meeting somebody.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Mr. Dave. Now, how's she asking a question when she's just over there somewhere?
Philippine family life with Leah asked, that's me the other day. I'm about to cry in the middle of a street. They don't stop for me.
Yeah. That's what, yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness, that drove me. That was frustrating because she was on a video call with me, and I'm always telling her, you be careful crossing the street. Anyway, like she was really listening. But I was in Thailand at the time. She was on a video call. I remember she was like trying to cross the street. She got in the middle of the road. She's freaking out. Oh, I'm going to get killed. And I'm in Thailand. I'm like, oh, great.
That's all you need to hear.
Thanks for putting me through this stress, you know. Oh. I don't care how long they have to wait. Don't walk into the middle of a street like, oh, I can get halfway and
you're stuck. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I do walk halfway because I try to get across one side. At least I know I'm halfway there. But yeah, you can be stuck in between.
Okay, another quick reminder to press like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We should, in fact, when I make these announcements, we should see the likes go up, right?
You would think. You would hope.
Except I don't even know where I can see them on there. Anyway, so please, we appreciate it. Thank you. And everyone here, thanks for being here.
And Ben, he's laughing at Leah, thought it was the end for me, being stuck in the traffic in the street.
Yeah, I'll tell you, don't ever risk yourself. It might be an end for her if something happens. What about her husband and kids?
Yeah, you have a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Philip Palato. Yes, I live in Bago City.
Yeah,
Actually,
just
he looks familiar. I don't know why. I feel like I've seen him before. Maybe Maybe he was one of the subscribers to my channel. Maybe that's why, because I didn't obviously I've never done a live before, but his photo looks familiar.
Mm. There's someone else that moved to Bargo. Maybe they know each other. Anyway, it's not far from here, right? Just 30, 40-minute drive.
You're going to know before me.
Mm.
That one, I'm not sure. I'm from USA, but I'm here now, Philip says. Oh, that's cool. What part of the United States are you from? I'm from Pennsylvania. Gary's from California.
Sort of.
Huh?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Well, I spent more time in California than anywhere else I've lived in my life. But I grew up in England.
Well,
so I guess technically I'm from England. And
so you're a little bit of both, but you basically spent your lifetime in USA and California.
I consider California, or Anaheim, Orange County. That would be, if somewhere's your home, that's the one that would be most relatable as home. But I've been so many different places. You know, I mean, 25 years or so, I grew up in England, and then I was like 20 years in California. And
but at least you grew up in California. Yeah. I grew up in boring Pennsylvania. Lived in Florida for almost 2 years. That was probably my best 2 years of living in the U.S. was when I lived in Florida. Filipino moments. Maybe Michael can expand a little more about his channel plans and ideas. God's best for your success. Expanding on my channel, like basically my plans and ideas are this. I want to obviously share my experiences with Che when we travel, whether it's to her province or when we plan trips like what I tell you I wanted to go, Lakawan.
Yeah, Iloilo.
I want to go visit there, which is like an hour drive by bus or so, and then you take like a boat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said 15 to 20 minutes. Honestly, I just want my channel to serve as like motivation, showing my experiences through my eyes, because there's even people that have reached out to me on my channel saying they may not ever have the opportunity, they say, to come here, but they're happy to have me to kind of live their experiences, their dreams through my eyes. So, and I just want people to see there are other things out there outside of wherever you're from, United States, whatever country. But I want people to see the happiness that I've acquired since being here. I mean, I'm so much happier. I feel so less stress in my life. And obviously, and I've said this before to people, financially, yes, it's less expensive here than it is in the United States. I mean, and does that come into play? Of course. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that didn't. That allowed me to do what I'm doing right now, to be able to come here. And yes, I'm 55. So I was able, as of April, being able to retire at 55, I had to make some sacrifices,
Yeah.
And so I want people to know that you do have opportunities to live a happy life outside the U.S. if that's something you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want hot weather, you got hot weather here. Beautiful islands to visit. And again, I just want to live my life and not be somebody sitting back someday saying, I wish I would have done this and that. I want to live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
So, those are my ideas, just traveling, every life things, simple things. That's why I call my channel Something Simple.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to show that the simple things in life can mean the most. And those are some of my goals and things that are inspiring people to maybe come here someday.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't already, subscribe to Something Simple.
Yeah.
And if you're watching from Michael's channel, my channel is American Christian in the Philippines.
Weren't you talking about possibly changing your name?
Yeah, I am going to change the name. In fact, maybe I don't have enough people here to give me ideas, but I'm having trouble coming up with a new name. the reason I want to change the name is it confuses people, because when they hear me talk, first thing that gets them is the American Christian. It's like, you're not American, you know. It confuses people.
Right.
And I guess I can see that. I don't mind keeping Christian in the title somewhere, because my channel is gonna have some Christian content and occasional testimonies. I kind of want to occasionally bring up something related to Christianity in my videos, so that is important to me.
Right.
Anyway, I'm not sure what to call it right now.
We had some ideas. They were kind of jokes. I won't say what they were, but
You know, what one of my names, I probably won't, but I look at things in a way. I think I got the gift of common sense, especially when it comes to the evidence and stuff for worldviews. And I was thinking Common Sense Christian was one I was thinking of, but I'm not sure.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm open for ideas. Also, being in the Philippines, that's one of the attractions to the channel. People are, tuning in because they're also interested in things about the Philippines. So
Right.
having something Philippine in the title is not a bad thing either, or in the name. So anyway, if you've got any ideas for a new channel name for me, I appreciate it. For now, it's American Christian in the Philippines.
Ben says, how safe do you feel walking around Bacolod, both in personal safety and navigating the walkways and roads? I mean, for me personally, I feel safe walking around Bacolod, if you're not talking about traffic stuff right away. I mean, I see at the end, but if you're asking me just my overall safety in general, just feeling okay, you know, what people you're going to run into and safety and violence, you know, I've always felt safe, even when I was in Dumaguete. I never, you know, I'm always paying attention to my surroundings as I did in the United States. I'm no different in that regard, but I honestly, sometimes I feel safer here. To say, you know, I never felt uncomfortable in any way. And if I ever did, which I don't really remember, I'm sure I just avoided the situation. I mean, navigating the roads and walkways, I kind of mentioned that earlier. Just as crazy as Dumaguete was, I actually felt safer in Dumaguete. Now that may change. I've only been here for 2-3 weeks, but even though it's more structured traffic here, I feel like in Dumaguete, pedestrian crossing meant more there, whereas here it's kind of like I'm playing Frogger and I'm trying to like bounce through the traffic, you know. But all in all, I feel safety for myself and safety with the roads and stuff. You're driving more, so
yeah. I think Bacolod's a very safe place. I don't think it's certainly not less safe than Dumaguete. I can't agree with you on the driving, though, the traffic. Then again, I'm not. You're walking more than me. You're crossing the streets. I haven't been doing that, so I guess I have seen, like we were talking about earlier, people risking crossing the roads, and it's not like people are. But the places they're choosing to cross aren't places where traffic would normally stop either. So.
Right. And so it's like, you know, when I go crosswalks, even then I need a crosswalk. I don't feel completely safe. And if you're at a place where there isn't technically a crosswalk and you have to get across, if you don't try to walk out, you'll stand there all day.
Right.
Unless you get lucky and there's no cars.
I think I see your point, you know, and I think a lot of it is because of the bigger roads. And it's like Dumaguete gets so congested anyway. It's easy to walk across the street because the cars aren't moving.
Yeah.
You just got to watch out for the bikes that don't pay attention. Yeah.
Ted Williams. Hey, Ted. What type of jobs will be available for your kids there in the future when they're finished with their education?
That's a great question.
That's a great one.
It really is. And
I don't even know. I can't answer that.
I've actually had moments I actually have a little stress about that, a little bit like, what will they do? I don't know if I can answer that, Ted. At least with, and I'm trying to get bless the situation changed, but my other daughter's already an American citizen, so she's always got the option to go to America if she wants to get a good paying job. Obviously when she's much older,
Right.
But and hopefully we'll be able to do something with Bless at some point, get her some kind of residency at some point. Don't know, but for here, what kind of jobs? I would ask my wife, but
yeah, that would be a tough one, because here, me not knowing much, I would think the best jobs here would be in the medical field. They need the doctors.
But they get paid bad out here for the ones that be nurses and stuff like that. I don't think they make much.
I'm sure they
Salaries
don't.
are
You
pretty-
probably have maybe people in Thailand or something get paid better. I don't even know. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely.
Ted, great question. I don't really know how to answer that. I don't know what kind of opportunities there will be for my kids. All we can do is try and get them the best education we can, and when it starts getting closer to that time, start looking into what's out there, make decisions.
Philip says, yes, I'd rather live less of foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with that. 100%, because if I'm surrounded by a ton of foreigners, I just feel like I'm back in the United States.
Unfortunately, I mean, first of all, we both know there's a lot of I can do spaghetti. I've got so many friends, so many good people. In fact, that's one thing I can say. I met more good foreigners there than anywhere else I've ever been in the Philippines. But again, with the high population of foreigners, you also get some people that are always causing trouble. And there's been many instances. That's why Dumagetti is often referred to as Dramagetti.
Yeah, Dramagetti.
Because there's foreigners that are,
a lot of drama.
Always getting into fights and other issues. And
you've seen stuff like that happen.
Yeah, many times. Yeah. Yeah. So having less foreigners means there's less troublemakers too, I guess. But it's just a fact, isn't it? Some foreigners come over here and they just got this attitude
of taking over.
Yeah, they think they're better than Filipinos or something, and
yep,
you get a few of those arrogant, and again, just less foreigners are good.
Philip says Bago City is not too much of foreigners. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from California. Philip's from California.
Okay. Well, California's a big place. Mine was Orange County. Most of the time in Anaheim.
Chada says, at Leah, carry a stick or act like you're picking up a rock on the side of the street, then walk calmly, but showing the rock on your hand, make it visible that they won't attempt to drive while you cross. You got to get some sticks and rocks.
There you go. Maybe you should try it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be carrying any rocks in my pocket, but.
Okay. Well, again, a reminder, because we're getting close to the end. We've got a few minutes to go, but please press like and subscribe to the channels. It's very helpful when you can do that. Thank you. We'll try and get through these. Quite a few now. I was complaining earlier.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy that there's this is good. So he's
in Artesia. Okay, so Artesia, Orange County is pretty close.
You're familiar.
Yeah.
Ben, please like and subscribe, everyone. Thank you, Ben. Always appreciate people like you.
And moderators too. He's a moderator.
Yeah, that's right. You see the wrench. See, I'm a newbie. Now I know that. So when I see the wrench, that means moderator.
That can be helpful when you get some people that are just here to cause trouble.
Chada, Leah, act like you're picking up a rock. Oh, it's like the same. Charity said, Charity and Drew. Let's have to drive
same
Charity and Drew.
Same comment, I think.
Ted Williams. Do they have colleges in Bacolod or close by?
Oh yeah, of course I have. Quite a few. I mean, I'm not familiar with all the names of them, but
Isn't one of them called STI? It's like, yeah, I think one's called STI. They're almost like business colleges. They had them in Dumaguete also, but I remember when Che and I were out walking to a public market, we walked past one. It was an STI. It's like a college business. They wear uniforms, you know, the guys and the girls, they wear like a uniform. I think it's like a travel business school for people that are interested in like working in the travel industry, kind of that kind of thing. Yeah, they have them. I'm not, as far as what type, you know, colleges, I have no idea. Filipino moments. She said your name should be Gary for God.
Gary for God. Interesting. I am for God. And my name's Gary, so. Yeah.
Channel, yeah.
Yeah, I got that. It's yeah. Interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Ben, hello, Michael. I subscribed to your channel.
There you go.
Thank you, Ben. I truly, greatly appreciate it. Filipino moments. Gary, God in the Philippines.
That's not bad either.
Yeah, because you're keeping Gary, they know you, you're keeping God, and you wanted Philippines in it.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah. I'm already thinking now.
Yeah, people are
getting my
helping you
mind
out.
working.
Filipino moments. Google Godly Gary, the Garachon Godly Philippines channel. Just, wow, you could have the GGG channel.
I've got to fix my doors. They squeak every time. What are you doing? I was going to say come. I was going to say come say hi, but she's got a towel wrapped around her head. Do you want to say hi with a towel wrapped around your head? I've got like 4 bathrooms in this house, and she uses this one.
Huh? What did you say?
We've got 4 bathrooms in the house.
Yeah, but this must have the better shower. This is the master room. Yeah. Ted Williams said, I would assume college is a lot cheaper there than here in California.
Oh,
I
sure.
would probably assume that too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the schools, just where my little kids go, actually, they're more expensive here than in Dumaguete. That's surprising to me, but compared with USA, I mean, as an example, I pay about, for Bless, it's around 75,000 pesos for a year.
Now, does her school, do they have to wear a uniform?
Yeah.
So then, so you pay for the uniforms as well,
Yeah,
right?
they'll pay for that too, yeah. But, yeah, of course, California would be very expensive.
Yeah, definitely cheaper than the United States.
But then again, okay, so as we discussed, I grew up in, I got 2 boys I have in California, so I raised them in Anaheim, and they went to schools there, public schools, but they were good schools, really good. Whereas here, if you want any kind of an education, you've got to go to a private school.
You're going to have to pay for it.
In the US, you can often find an alternative and you have to pay for it. Now, that's going back a while. I don't know what the schools, all the indoctrination these days.
Well, I actually went to a Catholic school in high school, but then I transferred to a public school. I'd say the education was very similar. You just didn't have to pay the tuition, but you did in a Catholic school.
Yes, please subscribe. Okay, we'll take a few more questions and then we're going to have to go. But the good news is we plan on making this a regular thing. So I hope that's good news for us because we enjoy it. I hope that's good news for those that are interested in the Philippines or just being involved in these live streams. I think we'll be planning on next week.
Yes.
Same kind of time, around 8:30 we started. So if you like what we're doing, I'll definitely appreciate the comments. But if you like it, then come back next week and put it in your calendars for 8:30 on Tuesdays, Philippine time.
Yep.
And we might be a few minutes late now and then.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Manny Figueroa, 621. Are there any English language Christian worship services, Bible studies there in Bacolod? Well, isn't ours English language, basically?
Yeah.
All the Filipino and Filipina, they're singing, everything's in English.
Yeah. And as for Bible studies, I actually do plan on starting a Bible group. And I don't want it to go quite as extreme as the one did in Dumaguete. I started one with my good friend Brandon, who sadly just passed on, and that's very heartbreaking. But we started that 3 years ago, and we were getting up to 60, 70 people showing up.
It was pretty big in Dumaguete.
Yeah. So I, as much as it was great to see what God was doing with that, I want to start a new fellowship group here, and maybe not as big. Kind of limit the numbers. Maybe maybe 10, 12 people would be good.
Yeah, because it got. I mean, I arrived to the scene at Bible study in Dumaguete. I was like at a later edition, and there was already. I mean, those tables were full, like 20, 40, 60, or at least there's a lot. And then the women were obviously downstairs, but that grew.
It did. And you know what's exciting about that is it shows you that we're doing something right, that God is behind this, because when you doing something godly like that for the kingdom and you're having success, and it's not always the case, of course, but it does feel like God is blessing what you're doing, So when you start something and it fails, sometimes that's a sign that maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Ben says, please subscribe to Michael's channel. Something simple too. Thank you, Ben. I really, really greatly appreciate that. Yep. Mr. Dave, foreigners in the Philippines are almost never friends with Filipino men, so that's why living in a place with foreign men is important. Mm-hmm. I mean, other than you and maybe one or two, I was more friends. I actually had more Filipino friends than I did foreigners in Dumaguete, believe it or not, But then at the same time, and don't take it the wrong way, but I could have been kind of ignoring like a lot of the foreigners. Like I just wasn't looking to have that many foreign friends, I don't take that like in a negative way. It was like I was interested in getting to learn the culture of the Philippines, so I would gravitate more towards coffee shops. I met younger guys, girls, Filipinas working there. That's how I became my, friends. They were my friends there. And then I learned more about the Philippine culture through them. Not that I couldn't learn the Philippine culture through a foreigner, but to me, I found it more interesting learning from them, and their English was really good. So, I mean, sometimes maybe you never do make friends with Filipinos, but I actually did. Ted, do you know if they teach college in English or Tagalog?
As for the college, I assume English or both. I don't know. But the school my kids go to is all English.
Well, because here in the Philippines, that's one of the main things that they pride themselves on is teaching the children English at a very young age. That's why for foreigners, it's very appealing to come here because people speak English. Yeah. Whereas when you're in Thailand, how many people did you meet?
Exactly. Not many.
Not many. Yeah. And that would be tough. Ted Williams, great live, guys. Learned a lot. I appreciate it, Ted.
Appreciate you being here, Ted.
I'm trying. Ted says, oh, never mind. Ted.
Okay, we've got a couple more, but this might be the last one, guys, because I actually have to go pick my kid up from school soon. And we're going to try and schedule these. It's usually going to be like 8:30 till 10 will be the time, depending on who's with us and how it's going.
Or
But
dictate.
that's kind of the plan. So please do more lives. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate that. But it motivates us when people want us to do it. So
You're 57 years young.
He says, I like to retire, but can't living here. Yeah. Well, this is a great option.
Well, yeah, and he has younger kids.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, that makes it a little more difficult. Anyway. All right. Any last comments?
No, I had fun. This is my first experience doing a live stream, so I enjoyed it, and hope I didn't show that many signs of being a first timer.
You just did right now.
Yeah, mentioning that. Yeah,
exactly.
But other than that, no, it was fun, and next time, whatever topics we hit, and but I do want to mention my experience going to immigration. Not now, but next time.
Okay.
Immigration experience is much better here than Dumagetti.
People will be interested. You're currently on a tourist visa, right?
Yes.
So that's something I know people will be interested in. Me, I've got the 30-day visa, so I don't have to worry so much about that. Maybe you'll be on one of those one day.
Yeah, I have to be married to be able to have the perk that Gary has.
Yeah. All right. On that note there, Ben, thank you. We'll have a great day, and everybody out there, have a great day. Thank you. Please put it in your calendar for next week. We will be doing this again next Tuesday, so try and participate if you can. We'd appreciate it. So thanks, everyone. Wish you a blessed day, and we will see you next time. God bless everybody.
See you later.